Okie dokie, it's time to jump back into some ranked games with the mage. It's been a while. Let's see what we can do today. We're rocking the puzzle bag, which means items inside are going to trigger a little bit slower, but after 5 seconds, they're going to go nuts. Now, we do start off with wands. We also start off with a broom. Let's go ahead and grab a wooden sword, and I do want to craft up a shell totem. Now, I'd love to grab the banana, but I also want to roll looking for a bag, because if we don't hit a bag, we're going to be in a little bit of a tough spot. I'm going to take the banana. I'm going to gamble. Let's roll. We got our bag. Hell yeah, that's smashing. And we do get a puzzle bag of love, so I definitely want to take that. Shell totem with the puzzle bag of love is going to be really, really fantastic. Now, as for the wands, I don't really want to have it inside a puzzle bag. I'd actually rather have a wooden sword out as well. And just have a banana along with a broom, because broom inflicting blind is going to be awesome. I don't think I'm going to take anything else. So I think I'm just going to take our puzzle bag. I'm going to move on with this. We're going to get a shell totem. And we'll see. We are going to begin an adventure with a spear, which is going to be a lot of damage. So we could be in trouble in that regard. But we do have a banana, we do have a shiny shell that keeps healthy, lasts for 5 seconds, and our broom goes nuts. So we might still have the advantage over this adventure. And hell yeah, we definitely do. But we got a shell totem. Let's grab our puzzle bag of love. Let's grab another wand since we're on the sale. I'm just contemplating crafting up a shovel, or do we reroll? I kind of want to grab a stone and then roll again. And we do get a mage's hat, which I don't want. We could also take down Death Amulet, which I'm kind of down for. Another bag I don't necessarily want. Goobert would be nice in this situation as well. I think we sell the stone to grab this amulet. I'm hoping for an Amulet of Energy, Amulet of Steel. Amulet of Feasting is not that great, but we'll take it. So it is going to speed up our banana. In our side, our puzzle bag of love. It's going to give us more heals, especially with our shell totem as well. Give us time to stack up our buffs with our wands of equilibrium as well. So it shouldn't be too bad. Now maybe I do want to move our broom away from our puzzle bag, because it is going to be moving fast. And we kind of want our shell totem to move fast, to get that heal, to get that empower. And it's not looking too bad. Now our opponent does have a lot of blind, or a lot of luck I mean, so their blind is not going to matter too much. But so do we. But this broom is dealing 6.2 DPS, our opponent has triple weapons, eating up an insane amount of stamina, which are crafting up that shovel. And it's looking super close, but hell yeah. Not too bad, actually. Now, the thing is, we do have a couple of choices. We do have Slime Time. We could go Slime Time into Gooberts, into Puzzle Bag of Love, try to go for Rainbow Gooberts. Could be a lot of fun. We could take Arcane Vision, speed up our wands like crazy, even faster. Or we could take the Blood Manipulation. Since we have the Puzzle Bag of Love, we could turn our healing into damage. So I'm actually thinking about taking Blood Manipulation, as crazy as that sounds. I think it is going to be awesome. Now, we do get a Twine Badge as well. The Twine Badge for even more speed on a crafted item. We could go for a Blood Turn and have it super fast. Practically Large Blood Turn will be amazing too. I'm not sure if I do want to go for that though. So I don't think I'm going to take it just yet. I do want to grab a wooden sword, because we could end up going for a Prismatic Sword. Let's grab this bit of storage. And I'm thinking about grabbing another banana, because it's going to give us another food item. Garlic, not exactly what I want, but it is going to have to do. Now I'm going to take this healing herbs, because we're probably going to want to go for a Vampiric or a Hunger Blade. Hunger Blade, Blood Manipulation, so we can scale up our Vampirism, so we can get a ton of regen. But we are taking on a Shielded Ranger. Shielded Ranger is going to be a bit tough, because you're going to be blocking their damage, you're going to be eating up our stamina. And since we're moving everything a lot faster with the puzzle bag, stamina is going to be a big issue, but we do have 2 bananas moving pretty darn fast as well. So our stamina shouldn't be as much of an issue, to be honest. We're scaling up lifesteal with our Vampirism, which is even more awesome as well. Keeping us healthy so we can get our empower with a shell totem. And it is triggering every 2.5 seconds. And not too bad. Definitely not too bad. So we're definitely going to want to grab healing herbs. Healing herbs, do we want anything else? We could take the box of riches if you want to. We're not going to take it. Be a bit greedy. Save 1 gold. Let's move on. So we didn't get too much stronger. We got a small bit of regen. So our wands are going to be stacking up. Our luck and our mana. We don't really use mana right now. Luck is also pretty good because it scales up our accuracy, but that's about it. Guaranteeing that we're going to hit our broom. Our opponent's going to have a lot of damage with a spear, with a hero sword, with scaling damage with eye lamp. They do have a health pot to keep them healthy. But again, we do have good old shell totem to keep us healthy as well. But is it really going to be enough? Because it's looking kind of dicey. And unfortunately, taking this box of riches does end up making us lose. However, it is going to help us in the long run. Now, I'd love to take this Corrupted Crystal, but I don't think we can really afford to. Let's take our Gemstone, let's roll, let's take this too. We could go for a Snow Stick, but I don't really want to. Now, we do get a Puzzle Bag of Improvements, which I also do want to grab. I'm going to take another chip topaz. Let's roll one more time. And I do want to grab more healing herbs. But this is going to be our next round. So we should be able to scale up a small few buffs with our puzzle bag improvement, a 20% chance to duplicate our one's buffs, maybe even a regen, which we did get. It's going to be awesome. Unfortunately, we can't put our blood manipulation in here for now. So it's going to have to do for now. Our opponent does have a big old hammer. They also have blood manipulation. Looking like they're going for a bunch of vampiric daggers. We also have a Shelly. They're going for double Shellys. But can we keep up with this big old hammer? 9.1 DPS with our 5.3 DPS. But yeah, we should have a lot of utility to keep ahead of this Reaper. And you know what? They do get a big massive heal from Shelly. And that might actually give them the advantage. Holy moly, was that actually getting a bit close. To be honest. Now we got a little red ruby. I'm also going to move this here. And I'm going to take this for now as well. So that's going to speed up our blood manipulation. I'm going to sell this little chip topaz to grab more regen as well. And we're really banking on finding a freaking Hunger Blade, that's for sure. There's one Hunger Blade, we should be in a fantastic spot. But we're going to have lots and lots of Vampirism. Our opponent is inflicting a small bit of poison with their smelly wall. They're going to get spikes for a little bit of chip damage as well. And they're crafting up that magic staff. So can we actually keep up? Because they're going to be cleansing some of our Vampirism with that garlic, but we do have our blood manipulation, scaling up our Vampirism, which means a lot of lifesteal with this broom. So we should still have the advantage. And you know what? Hell yeah. Not too bad actually. And amazing, we got our Hunger Blade, which we're pretty much going to take immediately. Now, do we want the boots on sale? Do we even want the Encyclopedia of Darkness? The reason to take this is because it is going to be inflicting a bunch of blind every 3 seconds. Now, it does use up a lot of our health, but we're going to be lifestealing like crazy. So is it worth taking? The boots on sale for 3 I will gladly take, and I'm going to roll once. Now, we could take the Cupcake and go for Cupcake Staff, which a Cupcake Staff with infinite scaling Vampirism could be kind of fun. But I don't think we're going to take that. I'm going to take another little Topaz. And I did move a set of browns, so our Hunger Blade is going to be inside our puzzle bag of improvements and a puzzle bag of love. So yeah, I'm just going to venture on with this for now. So we should be able to get a ton of Vampirism with our Hunger Blade now as well. And once we do use up our regen, our ones is going to scale up our regen, which means even more scaling Vampirism, which should be amazing. And we might actually just want to get rid of our Shell Totem, even though it is going to be scaling damage. I think we still actually going to keep it. Stamina cost is pretty darn tough right now, especially running up a shield. But that's a crazy absurd amount of Vampirism. And awesome. Now we do have a choice to make, and I'm not really sure which we should go for. Because we could try to take Harold the Hateful Hat. Now the problem with this is, it's going to be giving our opponents a ton of buffs as well. We're not really going to have much crit chance, but we are going to deal more healing damage as effect damage, which I kind of do like. So I'm going to take it. We're going to try it out. It might be a bit crazy to be honest. We kind of could take this to try and go for that Null Blade. Or we could even craft up this Devouring Spear, which is going to be more vampiric items. So let's grab this fanny bag. This gives another puzzle bag of improvements, which I'm going to take as well. And another one. I'm not sure if we want this much. So I'm going to sell the boots. Let's take our spell scroll Dark Frenzy. And let's take our spell scroll and craft up that Devouring Spear. So what we could do is we could use our little chipped amethyst to try and remove some buffs, which I'm kind of down for. I'm going to move on. I'm going to craft up this Devouring Spear. And we could be in a little bit of trouble with our Harold the Hateful Hat because we do have 40% chance to duplicate those buffs. So it's going to be a bunch of random buffs on our opponent's side as well as ourselves. But we're going to deal 30% of our healing as damage. It's actually a little bit more since we do have a dark item. But is it really going to be good enough? Hell no. Not right now anyway. And we could go for a Bloodthorn if we wanted to. But I'm not sure if I do want it. And we did get a cheese I didn't really want. I do want to grab you because you're going to be more heals. We could grab an island for some scaling damage. That's a Prismatic Sword. What the hell am I talking about? We're taking that. So we're going to sell you. And we're going to sell our Amethyst Feasting. As mad as that is. Because we definitely 150,000% need to craft up this Prismatic Sword. And with that, let's move on. Once we get our Prismatic Sword in, we're going to get an insane amount of lifesteal. Genuine insane amount of lifesteal. But can we keep up with this Excalibur? Each of us leaf, they're going to get a ton of empower. They're going to go crazy on this. They're going to get tons of block. So I'm not sure if we're going to be able to keep up just yet. We do have an insane amount of vampirism. It might keep us healthy, actually, and amazing. Hell yeah, didn't actually expect to win that one out. Now we could go even more crazy and give our Harold the Hateful Hat even more chance to duplicate those buffs. We can give it a 60% chance to duplicate those buffs. I'm not sure if I do want to do that. We could take full body protection. You're technically a helmet, so all we need to do is find boots, which we sold already, and a pair of armor. And we take a lot less damage. I kind of like that a lot. Also, by the Holy Light, increases speed on a Prismatic Sword. It helps us find potentially prismatic orbs on sale. So I'm actually just going to take this. Now we could take another ones. I don't think I really want to. Do we want to take the potions? Not exactly. Regular software to be inflicting a little bit of colds. It's nice and all, but I don't necessarily really want it. Another puzzle bag of improvements. No, thank you. Some more lifesteal. It's 4 golds. But I think I'm going to take it. And we're going to roll again. Now we're going to have to take another bloody omelet because that's going to be more and more lifesteal. But for now, let's just grab a little bit more regen. So we're going to have a small bit of scaling crits. If you do manage to get lucky with a chipped amethyst. We're going to get a small bit of increased healing as well. And this Prismatic Sword is going to have quite a bit of healing. It's going to have a lot of attack speed, which could be problematic for sure. Especially with this as well. And after 5 seconds, this is going to go turbo nuts. So maybe don't even want our Hunger Blade in. But so far it's not looking too bad. We're dealing massive damage. And awesome. Let's grab this. Let's grab our stamina sack. Puzzle bag of endurance. Don't necessarily really want this just yet. I'm going to roll again. We do get an Elsprit Companion for duplicating our buffs even more. Now this has been nerfed a little bit and we don't have as high chance to duplicate those buffs. But he's on self-retreat, so I'm going to take him. Now actually, before we do move on, I'm going to place this in here and move our Hunger Blade out from our puzzle bag. That way we can actually generate up a lot more lifesteal on this Prismatic Sword. But the end game is to grab as much Prismatic Orbs as possible, to grab as much Devouring Spears as well. So we can actually get a ton of vampirism. That's a lot of poison stacked up on us. They're going to have so much defenses. I think we could be in trouble. We got lots of Murdo increasing our weapon damage. But is it really going to be enough? Unfortunately not. That's just so much poison. That's just exponential damage. We got a little chipped amethyst. Let's grab you. Let's roll. We do get a bird, which is going to be removing buffs, and another spell skull, Blessing and Purity. Also, what the hell am I doing? Because we're not getting crits on our Harold the Hateful Hat, on our Hunger Blade. Yeah, that's on me. So maybe the Elsprit Companion really isn't that worth it. It gives us a chance to duplicate our buffs, but do we even really want that? I think we might actually sell it. Let's grab a bird. Let's grab the spell skull, Blessing and Purity. Let's roll again, and I do want to grab as much of these little amethysts as possible. Which means we're going to sell you to grab you. And the problem is, I don't want our bird to be targeting our Hunger Blade, but I also really want to be targeting our Devouring Sphere, which I'm thinking we're going to have to place up in this position, which is a little bit crazy. As for bananas, it's going to be a little bit tougher to fit them in. Box of Riches we do need to add in as well. And now our Harold the Hateful Hat isn't going to be inside our puzzle bag anymore. Also, our Dark Devouring Spear is not going to be in underneath our Harold the Hateful Hat, but we should be able to get crits. And yeah, this Prismatic Sword is going to have a little bit of scaling damage. It's going to have lifesteal. It's not going to attack as fast, but that should be okay for now as well. And let's keep moving. So we are going to begin a Null Blade, another Serpent Staff with crazy absurd amount of piggy banks. They're going to be flicking that poison once again. But can we keep up with our lifesteal and Prismatic Sword? Potentially. We are running out of stamina, which is problematic. They do have shielded with that shield. But can we still keep up? Because we got tons and tons of vampirism. But unfortunately, it's not going to be enough. Now, let's grab this. What's it going to be? Amulet of Fortune. It's actually kind of nice with Harold the Hateful Hat. Let's grab you. Let's roll. We could go for Light Cupboard, which could be kind of awesome too. Another Puzzle Bag of Love means more lifesteal, if you do want it. Now, maybe we just want to get rid of our Hunger Blade. We're going to have very slow scaling vampirism. But I'm going to do it. We could take another Puzzle Bag of Love, which I'm not going to. And since we have so much regen, this is actually looking kind of juicy. So I'm going to sell a banana since we're not going to need as much stamina. And we do want as much red rubies inside this as possible. You're going to be more scaling damage for a Prismatic Sword. And let's roll once more. But let's venture on once again. Now we could actually craft up a Vampiric Gloves to increase the speed on our Prismatic Sword even more. I'm kind of down for it. But can we keep up? We could also had our Prismatic Sword target our Herald the Hateful Hat so we inflict a few debuffs. We should have a higher chance to inflict those debuffs, and we should be able to get a little bit of crit chance stacked up. 18.4% is actually pretty decent. We have insane lifesteal, and stamina isn't any more of an issue. That's a hammer dagger action though, stunned us. But hell yeah. Not looking too bad whatsoever. Now we could take the Spell Scroller Grow with our Hunger Blade. That's one thing we could actually do. But we're not going to. We're going to take our gloves, we're going to roll. All we need is one Prismatic Orb. We could take another freaking spell called Blessing of Purity. I don't think so. Let's grab our storage. I'd love to take this and look for a bunch of caps, but I don't think we can really afford to. So I'm going to roll again. And I'm going to roll once more. And yeah, we're going to venture on. Now we could go for a Katana, but I think it's a little bit too late for it. And the only way we're going to improve this is potentially grabbing a bunch of Prismatic Orbs. But the gloves, once it is a Vampiric set of gloves, it's going to speed up our Prismatic Sword even more. And it's going to give us more lifesteal, which should be amazing. But our opponent has inflicted a lot of blinds on us, which could be problematic. And unfortunately, yeah, it's definitely going to be problematic. Blind is one where we're actually going to lose. But we got our Vampiric Gloves, and we got the trophy for crafting up. Now, speaking of awesome, hell yeah. We're going to have an insane amount of lifesteal on our Prismatic Sword. We're going to have a higher chance to inflict those debuffs. Now, maybe I do want to move this up. We're going to roll again. Let's keep rolling. Keep rolling for now. Another spell is called Blessing of Purity. You know what? Let's actually take it since it is on sale. And we can also switch this the other way around. Instead of having crit chance, small bit of crit chance, we could get even more dealing damage as unhealing damage. Because it is going to be quite a bit. Another 15% of our healing damage. But I do kind of like getting some crit chance. Since we do have Bird to remove some looks, since we have these as well. We should be able to scale up our crits relatively fast. And we are going to begin a bunch of dragons, again inflicting blind. Which could be problematic for sure. Might be able to burst us down, but we're healing back up. And it's not looking too bad. Hell yeah. Awesome even. And we did end up with a 50% crit chance on our Prismatic Sword, which is not too bad. As far as DPS goes, we did have a 60 DPS. Our opponent did have pretty much a 90 DPS. As for heals, we managed to get 70 healing per second, so if we do want to improve it, we definitely need to increase our healing efficiency. And as for block, non-existent. And we could craft up a Vampiric or Prismatic Burb, and that's one way we could have actually improved our builds quite significantly. Now I'm going to take this customer card because I'm going to roll. We could take a Cupcake. Let's grab this bit of storage actually. And I'm just contemplating actually crafting up a King's Crown, which I'm going to do. Now I know I did spend a lot of gold on that, but it is what it is. King's Crown is going to increase our healing efficiency with our gems, which is definitely going to be worth it. It's also going to give us some vulnerability. And yeah, it should be awesome. But let's keep moving for now. Still didn't craft up Paradise Burb. We probably should have done it, which would give us a lot more heals, but then we'd lose the ability to steal some more buffs, so we'd lose our scaling crits. But our opponent is going to have a lot of lifesteal with double mana turrets. They're going to get some big mana buff bombs. They're going to have little chestnut to scale up their buffs like crazy. So it's going to be a kind of a crazy long lifestealing type build. We do get our vulnerability, stopping them from healing though. But are they going to be able to actually win out? Because we're scaling up their buffs as well. And unfortunately, it's kind of looking like they're going to outscale us. Yeah, for sure. So we do go down to 1 life, which is pretty darn scary, but we're going to get our King's Crown with some big red gemstones. And we do want to place in over in this position instead. Now I'm going to roll. We could grab a Badger to scale up our max life, which I'm down for. Let's grab you to see what it's going to be. Amped of Energy is actually awesome. And let's go ahead and grab another bird. I'm going to sell this little green gemstone to roll again. And yeah, I'm going to move on once again. Now, is this really going to be good enough? A King's Crown with insane healing efficiency with these big red rubies? Maybe. Our opponent is going to be infinitely stacking heat with his Cupcake Staff. And with some Prismatic ones, they're going to get lots and lots of power as well. We do get invulnerability. We're dealing our damage. It's not looking too bad. We got tons and tons of Vampirism. And not even close this time. Yeah, our healing efficiency has increased to 100 healing per second just by adding in this glowing crown. So it's not looking too bad. A little bit dicey to get online. Now we could take the spell called Dark Frenzy. We would be scaling up a lot of vampirism. I would love to grab a Null Blade as well. Doesn't remove buffs, but inflicting blind is a bit scary. We do have triple spells called Blessings of Purity, but let's take it since it is on sale, but I might not add it in. Let's grab our storage. Puzzle Bag of Ruin is actually kind of nice. You could inflict a bunch of debuffs. We're not going to take it. Now your dark item, which we could take, inflict a bunch of blinds, increasing the speed on our Devouring Spear. We're going to take a little bit more damage with our life, but I think I'm going to take it. Now King Gubert would have been amazing to add in. Second Prismatic Sword would have been awesome too. But it is what it is. I don't think you're going to add this in. So I'm going to sell it to roll again. And one final roll. Now, a Cap Discomfort would also be fantastic. Cap Discomfort to reduce our opponent's healing would be amazing. For sure. But it is what it is. Herald the Hateful Prismatic Sword is actually looking kind of awesome. It's a bit dicey because we could end up getting outscaled by giving our opponents insane amounts of freaking buffs. But with 2 birds, we speed up our Prismatic Sword, we also steal their buffs, and with the little Amethyst, we do have a chance to scale up our crits a little bit more as well. But I would love to grab more dark items to place under Herald the Hateful Hat, so we deal a lot more of our healing damage as effect damage. But we're going to go ahead and see if this is going to be good enough. Can we take on a big old double X? Double X Steel Goober type situation. They're going to have 94% crit chance. They're going to be attacking through armor, but we don't stack up armor, so it's going to be kind of nice. We also have our Badge Spirit Companion to scale up our max life as well. But again, we're going to be giving them a ton of buffs. We're going to be trying to steal all their luck, decreasing their accuracy, which should be amazing. And that's one thing we can do with Encyclopedia of Darkness. Inflict that blind, take their luck, and you know what? Actually looking amazing, not even close whatsoever. So we actually ended up with 100 DPS, which is actually pretty decent. As for heals, we managed 120 healing per second, even though our opponent did have some healing reduction. Not an insane amount, but some healing reduction. And again, Astral Block non-existent. So overall, not a bad build. A bit risky. Herald the Hateful Hat is very, very interesting build, but very, very risky at times. We did end up with a 55% crit chance, which is not as crazy as I would have liked to get. I would have loved to have grabbed a bunch of Devouring Spears. A bunch of Devouring Spears to go nuts. They're dark items and vampiric items and magic items. They're crazy good with the Prismatic Sword. So imagine having 7 of these around our Prismatic Sword. We would be inflicting those debuffs, we will be attacking faster, we will be getting lifesteal. So I do think Prismatic Sword is kind of amazing with the mage. But we did survive with just 1 life left. Let's go and see just how much rank points we manage to get. +9, ranking us up quite a bit actually. But anyways, I'm going to leave you here for now. Just want to say thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, comment, or even consider subscribing, and I'll just look up for the next one. I'll see you next time. Okay, we're back in some round 18 fights. We are taking on some Hyper Hedgehogs, Thornbloom action. Opponent's going to have healing reduction. They're going to have crazy cards with guard power. It's actually kind of satisfying to see all these cards and guard power, but can they actually really keep up? They're going to stack up a lot of max life, but we should definitely be able to outscale them, and hell yeah. Now, can we deal with it trying to be a permanent stunning Stone Golem? It's actually really, really nice setup with a Jinx Staff, with a Stone Golem, with armor, or shields, with healing reduction. They're going to be trying to perma-stun us because every time their Stone Golem does hit, it's going to be a 30% chance to stun us. But looking like we're going to be able to outpace them. Hell yeah. And finally, can we deal with a Mana Mastery Mage? They're going to be infinitely stacking mana to get some big mana buff bombs. And they're going to get tons and tons and tons of buffs from that. And then after that few seconds, the Spirit Belt is going to give him a crap ton more buffs. They got tons and tons of buffs, but is it really going to be enough to beat us out? Hell no.